All right. Hello, everyone. It's Michelle Mahar here again. And today I'm here with Hailey Patry. Hailey, thank you so much for giving me your time today. And if you want to just give everybody, talk about who you are and what you do and what you're all about.
Well, good afternoon, Michelle. Thank you so much for having me on with you. I love what you're doing in your group, pivoting with positivity. Such an important message right now. And it's great to see you virtually. I can't wait to see you
Yes.
again in person.
Oh, yes, I
Um,
know.
so, hello, friends. My name is Hailey, and I run a coaching institute called The Lifted Lid, where my mission is to help you live your life uncapped. And I do that by supporting you in three unique areas, which is your personal happiness, your relationships, and your business. And I love to support amazing clients as a coach, an author, a speaker, a workshop, and facilitator host. And of course, during COVID-19, over Zoom. I love to support people over Zoom. And my mission
Yes.
is to just sprinkle more happiness, more love, and more success into the lives of wonderful people such as yourself.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Hailey. And that's so important now. Kindness is something we really need to share. Coming together as a community is so important right now, and that's so good that we have this technology. As we were speaking before we came on camera here, I found myself really getting sucked into the fear initially, and I'm sure everybody else was in the same boat because it just all happened so quickly. Things were changing one after another, and it started for me with live events being canceled, where I'd already booked a table and I had already plans in place in terms of what I was creating for it, and I had been working on my branding and messaging with hopes for a new banner and new written materials, things like that. So what was your experience going through the whole when everything changed? To me, it started when the NBA canceled their season. I mean, that to me
Well,
was the
I
trigger.
live with four men, Michelle. One of them
Yes.
who's my awesome husband, and at the moment laid off COVID-19 stay-at-home dad, and my three sons that are 14, 5, and 4, and we are a basketball family. So I can definitely relate with how serious it was. I think for me, it started as observing from a distance, feeling like it wasn't quite in Canada, and then it was, but it wasn't quite close to home, and then it was in our city, and then it wasn't affecting anybody we knew, and then it was affecting people and organizations we knew. So
Right.
I think I went on this. It started very far away, and then it started to feel closer and closer. And the further it was, the less serious we take things, and the
Of
closer it
course.
gets, the more serious we take it. I remember the feeling, which was a combination of shock, concern, and gratitude when I found out that March break was extended by 2 weeks and that all my kids would be home. And I normally work from home.
Mhm.
And then I remember the feeling when they said, okay, it's going to be extended another 4 or 5 weeks. And so I think, like the rest of the world, I've just been taking it day by day. I try to stay ahead of things. So if the seriousness level is at a 5, I'll apply safety at a level 7. And when we
Right.
hit level 7, I was applying precautions like a level 10. And so we've had some great protocols in place for a long time now as a family in terms of how we shop, how I cleanse things, how we take care of our immune systems, how we practice social distancing, and just common sense as well as respect for all the laws and regulations. Um,
Right.
I
Yes.
think my mental health, I'm so grateful that my scale tips towards being optimistic that this will end within the next few months, grateful that there are always gifts from trauma. And this is a trauma the whole world's experiencing together. The gift of more time, the gift of no commutes, the gift of less money to spend on mindless shopping. And as one of my friends posted a meme, when you can't go outside, go inside. And as you and I talked about, just the gift of all this time for reflection, the slower
Yes.
pace lets us do things that we had not been giving time to. So I tend to stay on the happy,
Right.
positive side, but I'm still
Yes.
human. And when I check the one website I check every morning and I see what's happening as the global picture, my heart hurts for the world too. You know,
I
it's not
know.
all
I
roses and
know.
positivity. I I sometimes struggle to catch my breath when I just look at the gravity of
Yes, how true. I mean, this is something that's affecting the entire world, and it is affecting everybody, regardless of social status or how much money you have, where you live or what you do. It really doesn't matter. Everybody is inside. We're asked to stay inside and only go outside as necessary to get the essentials, and of course to get outside in nature, just for your own immune system and mental health, while
it. Yeah.
practicing social distancing. So this is, like you say, I know for myself, yeah, all of our plans got changed so quickly as well, and so we've all had to look after. To me, initially we had the fear. We've now, it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're getting into this becoming the new normal, and as a result, um sorry, I
We're
just
out of
lost
I
my
think we're
train
out
of
of shock.
thought.
Yeah, we're out of shock and we're now
Yeah.
into deep breath, acceptance. Let's make this a good experience and let's really, as I always say, what's the best case scenario we can all make out of this worst case situation we didn't know we'd be in, now that we've grappled with the shock of what people felt they've lost because of it. I think we can now turn our focus to all the amazing things we gain and make
Right.
that pivot for our marriages, for our kids, for our own mental health, for our physical health, for our business, and for how we allocate everything precious, like how we choose to forevermore allocate the resource of our time, our energy, our effort, our spending habits is going to be different because we're going to bring more consciousness and more intention to that. COVID-19 is giving us that.
Yeah, that's totally true. That is definitely true. This is the time to reflect on things that you were doing before, because now, before, I know for myself, I didn't. It was a lot of rushing around,
Hmm.
always thinking of the things on your to-do list, and now you don't have to be rushing the same way. And I think a lot of people also who wanted to go out in nature on a regular basis, and said that they didn't have time for it, which of course was just an excuse, because everybody has the same amount of time. It's how you allocate it, as you were saying.
Yeah.
They just chose to put other things ahead of it. Now they're going out and actually appreciating nature and noticing the sounds and the animals and things like that, and the buds on the trees. And now it's beautiful. Like, it's spring, so which is much better than if
Thank
we were,
goodness. Could
if
you
it was
imagine?
January.
Yeah, could you imagine if this was booming in January instead of April? On the
Yeah.
topic of time, Michelle, can I share how we allocate time in my household and what we are finding
Oh,
to be a
yes,
way? Yeah,
because
so
it's important to have a routine now.
it sure is. And, I'm not saying this is the right way to do it, but this is the way that we've been doing it. During the week of March break, we practiced like we're on a vacation, which meant we didn't have to have really strict bedtimes and wake up times. And the days were about quality time, fun, wellness, all of those things. But when March break ended and school would have been resuming, we put the family on a schedule that for the last 2 weeks has been structured, but it'll become more structured starting this Monday with the release of the new online education
Right.
options.
Yes.
So, as of this coming Monday, here is how the Patry household is running their schedule. I work full time. I've shifted all my in person client meetings to Zoom. And how the day looks is at 6 a.m., I wake up and I do 30 minutes of business messaging so that all my clients from the day before feel well supported. Then from 6:30 to 7:30, I work out. My husband is getting breakfast ready at 7. And then at 7:30, we'll eat breakfast together as a family. At 8 o'clock, I hop in the shower and get ready for my work day. And that means putting on real clothes and actually brushing my hair. And then I'll work from 9 till 3. My work day will end earlier than normal. So at 3 o'clock, I get to look forward to 2.5 hours in nature with my kids, a nice family dinner at 6 o'clock, a fun evening where we do things like dance parties, roast marshmallows in our backyard, do family yoga. And the plan is to have the kids asleep by 8:30 so that my husband and I can enjoy some marriage time between 8:30 and 10. And my intention is to always be asleep for 10 because I get up at 6. How my husband is handling things, he is going to be the full-time stay-at-home dad during this time. He's been laid off from his 2 jobs. So he'll get up at 7. He will make breakfast. The kids will have some flex time with him in the morning. They can just have some fun. He's going to do homeschooling from 9 till 11:30. At 11:30, the kids will get a half hour of screen time while he makes lunch. We'll then have lunch together as a family. I'm timing my work break to be with them. And after lunch, he'll do an hour of chores, hashtag life skills homeschooling for the kids, and teach them how to do things like gardening, little fix-it projects, cooking, doing laundry. Those are all life skills that will benefit them later.
Yeah.
Then we've got our 14-year-old leading an hour of phys ed for his 2 younger brothers who are 5 and 4 in the afternoon. My husband will give them a snack so that they're ready to go at 3 o'clock to hang out with me when I finish my work day. And I know that sounds like a lot of structure, but what we're trying to honor in that schedule, when my older son teaches phys ed, my husband gets a 1-hour sanity break. I get up earlier than the family, so I got an exercise and sanity break. The kids get some learning, they get some fun, they get some practical skills, and then I'm turning my phone off at 3 so that we can actually have that quality family time that this pandemic is meant to give to us. And then the weekends are the weekends, right?
Yeah.
So I find that having that structure means I'm honoring all the buckets, my role as a woman, a mom, a wife, and a working person.
And a business. Yes, exactly. That is a great structure. And as you say, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
But I think it's very important right now to keep a routine. Initially, when we got into this, I know a lot of people were not necessarily getting out of bed and dressed, living in pajamas initially, which is understandable as we're going through those emotions. But now I think that now that we have come to this 3 weeks and it is continuing, as they said, that school for sure is not going back before May and the online schooling is starting, we need to, set some kind of routine. And it's good to get up the same time every morning, get dressed,
And
fix your
for our
hair.
mental health. Yeah, like for our
Yeah,
mental health. So
exactly. For our
in
mental
my
health as well.
in my work as a happiness coach, I am supporting people through addiction, depression, anxiety, trauma, loss, all the things that really challenge our happiness. And as I always say to my clients, it's okay to have a pajama day or 2, but when you start to go to day 3 is when I will really start to worry because it becomes habitual. And if you already have any underlying challenges with mental health, whether it is with depression, another diagnosis, anxiety, or addiction, please let somebody who you care about, who cares about you, know that you're going to go into pajama hiding for a day, and let them know when you're planning to come out so that people know to check on you. If you need Tuesday and Wednesday to be in PJs, sleep in, relax, and take a couple, cocoon days, just let someone know. Say, hey, I'm going to be going off tech. You won't see me on Facebook. I'm not going to be responsive. I'm going to cocoon, rest, reset, watch way too many movies. But on Thursday, expect me back in the functioning world. That way, if we don't see you back on Thursday, we know to reach out and make sure that you're safe and that you're okay.
Right. That's great. That's great advice for sure. So, yeah, and it definitely getting dressed, fix your hair, makeup it just sets the tone for the rest of your day, makes you feel more confident and just better about yourself as well. And self-care is so important now in
It's huge.
addition to that.
Can
Just,
I share a bit,
yes,
Michelle, on some of the things that I do for self-care?
sure, yeah.
So I think self-care can really start with how you bookend your day, meaning what are the rituals or routines, the practices that you do for yourself in the morning and for how you close your day. I close my day with a 23-minute guided visualization. It's on the free app Insight Timer. The woman who speaks it, her name is Kate James, and the visualization is called Peaceful Sleep. And those 23 minutes just set my mind, my heart, my body, my joints in this beautiful place to go off into a calming sleep. But I also practice self-care with having great sleep hygiene. There's no technology allowed in my bedroom. I don't like the EMFs, so the tech is in the bathroom. I have a moist humidifier going. We diffuse essential oils. I like to sleep in the pitch black. And so ending my day in a calm and positive way really helps. How I start my day, I like to clean some of the inbox out. That allows my mind to not have anxiety. And then from 6:30 and on, it's about honoring my physical health, making sure that I get my exercise in, that I have my healthy nutrition planned for the day. And when I take my bath, I don't do this 7-minute rush scrub shower. I take a bath with Epsom salt. I bring a huge chunk of rose quartz in the tub with me. I do my affirmations in the tub. I set my intentions for the day, and I'm really loving in how I speak to and how I treat my body, because I find the way you start your day and the way you end it have a profound difference on, how well the day goes, and that to me is part of self-care.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, that's really, really nice. Thank you for sharing that. It's important to, yeah, to honor yourself, and having a practice like that is yeah, that's very nice. Um, the other thing is you've had to pivot your business a bit because of the you can't do any keynote speaking as such because there are no live events right now.
No keynotes, no trade shows, no workshops, no live networking, no seeing clients in their home, no seeing clients in my office.
Yes,
Definitely a lot has changed.
it has. And I think for a lot of businesses, this is really the time to get creative. There's
Yeah.
so many people out there offering free services in terms of webinars, workshops on different topics. So, depending on what kind of business you might have, you can focus on different aspects of it, something like that. What would you, what advice would you offer people in terms of pivoting their business online?
Yeah, so I think it's a great question, Michelle.
Of course,
I
it
think
depends on the business.
it does. So I'll speak to first practitioners that are like myself. So
Yeah.
if you are a coach, consultant, speaker, if you host workshops, retreats, live events, and I know that you and I have a few hundred friends that have similar businesses, whether they're in any of the life coaching fields or business coaching fields. The first thing is to notice any of your one-to-one or one to a few interactions that used to be done face to face, those can immediately transition to Zoom. And while there is a disadvantage to Zoom, which is that you're on technology, and yes, there's radiation and EMFs and internet and all of that, there is a beautiful benefit, and that is that you can record all the sessions. And those recorded sessions can be so valuable to your participants that they can play it back and they can soak up more of the learning each time.
Yeah.
You can also use your own recordings to then annotate that and turn it into teaching content that you use on either social media or blogs or for a book or for a course. And so the fact that Zoom lets you record sessions is a tremendous benefit. So that's the
Mhm.
first thing, is
Yeah.
obviously shifting your one-to-one interactions to Zoom. I think that you have to do more than just move a face-to-face meeting to Zoom in order to keep the experience as high and as wonderful for your clients. You may want to send them some handouts in advance. You may want to encourage them to grab their favorite beverage. You may even want to send out a gift pack of something, because we do miss some of the juiciness of our connections from in person to online.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's so true.
So go the extra mile. Maybe you're including some additional free downloads or free bonuses for people to make up for the fact that you're not in person with them. The second thing is in terms of keynotes, check in with the different conference organizers. If you're a speaker like myself, check in with the different conference organizers. Some of them have not canceled the conferences, they have
Right.
shifted them to a virtual summit. For
Yes.
those that have canceled the conferences, they have a massive mailing list of all the attendees who were planning to attend. You can always ask them to include your complimentary offer and send it out to the entire mailing list from the conference. So for example, of course, I do about 40 keynotes a year, and that means a lot of conferences that have been canceled at this time. It's still a great opportunity to get that entire audience onto a free webinar with you, a free Zoom, get a free download or a free chapter of your book. I think this is the time to provide content that makes a difference. And from there, that can organically lead to, a client in the future. In terms of events, I think that's the biggest challenge. I host workshops. I know a lot of our friends host workshops.
Yeah.
I think this is the time to instead create online group programs or evergreen online courses. And
Right. Yes.
the workshop model is going to change with COVID-19, but I think it's going to cause all of us to create digital assets that lead to a massive positive impact in the world and wonderful residual income for those of us that create them. So yes, it's a pivot, but in a field like ours, less painful than others. For those of you that are in a high touch business, so hairdresser, any of the skincare, spa, beauty, massage
Yeah.
therapy, reflexology. I have, you and I, Michelle, we have a lot of
Yeah.
friends in those fields.
Yes.
I think this
Plus
is,
use those services ourselves.
oh, absolutely. And so, for our friends that are in that kind of a profession, this is really the pivot is a bit more creative. Some of my clients are creating courses on how to do those things. For example, a massage therapist could now teach how to give couples massage, how to give infant massage, how to self-massage your pressure points. There are other things that every expert could be creating for their business right now, but it does
Right.
take thinking outside the box.
Right. Yes. Yeah, for sure. And as you were saying about the hair salons and nail salons, I know my nail salon that I normally go to is has just put out some information on Instagram as to how do you remove the shellac nail polish on your
Yes.
own at home, and what do you do about artificial nails, and again, I know there's hairdressers that have been putting videos up on how to cut your own bangs. The biggest
And
issue,
deal with skunk roots and
that's going to be the biggest issue, dealing with that. And some of them, I think they're showing you how to pick a color from the when you go to Shoppers or some other drugstore to pick your color box color, hair color.
and I think the key message for businesses that are listening to this broadcast is if your business is one that directly eases the anxiety of COVID-19, you will remain busy during this time. If your business is one of those that is painfully affected because you used to only do work client facing,
Yes.
remember that this will be short lived. And if you remain highly in touch with your clients right now by virtual and safe methods, then when this is over, your clients will be not only coming back to you, but bringing their friends from the hairdressers, beauty salons, and massage therapists who fell off the face of the earth during COVID-19. So this is a time to really nurture your existing clients, share with them valuable content, perhaps create other sellable offers that you can offer to them in this time, but they will be back. And if you are making your clients feel special and connected to you, even though you can't see them, they will absolutely be back. It's also a time for any service-based business like massage and beauty that were underutilizing your power to sell product. This is a great time to up your product sales because people need to, of course, do that home care.
Yes, yeah, totally. That is so true. And the thing is, these kind of places are going to be very busy when we do get out of the other side of this. I know, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be doing about my hair in the meantime.
my
Right now,
my
I'm okay, but
I'll be honest. I took my nails off just a couple months before COVID-19. I took my shellac off to let my nails breathe. Boy, am I ever glad I have naked nails because I can maintain those from home. My husband doesn't
oh,
like hair dye, so I haven't colored my hair in 10 years, and the grays are just like my free highlights. But the one thing I do, I get eyelashes put on every 2 weeks because I have none of my own. And when my amazing lash lady had to close her business, I thought, oh, I'm going to look a little fugly during COVID-19. And I'll be really excited when I can see her
when you
again
can go
active.
back. Yeah, yeah. I think that's the say that'll be the case for a lot of people. So, like you say, it's the time to just create content. We have the technology. It's all out there. It's all and it's free, and
And
everybody can
and
do. You can do the videos. Any videos you can just do with your phone.
and I think this is a time where if you have a book, so you and I have a lot of friends who have authored books. I have done 4 myself, 3 where I was a co-author, and then my last book, Happy Love, is my own whole book. If you have a book, this is a great time to disseminate your content and turn it into all of the blog pieces or social media pieces or webinars or trainings or workshops or courses because you've already done the writing. If you've always wanted to write a book and you're
Yeah,
not sure where you're going to pull your content from, but you're savvy on social media, this is the time to go and pull all your historical posts over the last year or two and take all that and compile it into a massive Word file that could be the basis of your book. So we've got the time, my friends. The way I'm looking at it is
right.
this: you're not commuting. What can you do with that extra 1 to 2 hours a day? You're not shopping. I mean, the retail, the fun kind. What can
Yeah,
you do with that extra hour a week? You're not going on coffee dates that last 2 or 3 hours longer than you planned. So how can you repurpose that time? And we're spending a lot less than we're used to. So how can we repurpose our spending? And COVID-19 is giving us this really eerily strange, beautiful blessing to be
yeah.
slowed down and rejig our priorities and focus most on what matters most.
Right, right. And this is the time to take that as a gift, really.
One area, Michelle,
Yeah.
that I'm sure you and I can both attest to. So we're both mothers, we're both wives, and we got our whole family home, and we're not used to that. Not your house and not my house. So this can be a really trying time for couples, especially if there were pre-existing challenges. I help to run the Milton Divorce and Separation Support Group, and there are some people that were about to start a legal separation, or were about to end their marriage, or were about to start couples therapy to heal their marriage. So if for a lot of people right now, they're feeling a little bit trapped in their
Yeah.
house, their
Mm.
spouse all the time, and they can't have open dialogue because their kids are also home all the time. This is a
Right.
time to be extra kind, really soften the communication, and maybe choose one project a week if you're looking to heal a relationship in your family, whether it's a marriage relationship or a parenting relationship, because we have the time to work on it right now. We just can't handle if things escalate and get toxic because people are needing to stay contained in their house.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. The yeah, because you are trapped kind of. You
Well,
are in your home and you can't. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that would be
and
difficult for those kind of people that were just about to start a legal separation. Perhaps there'll be a lot of marriages saved for this
they're
time.
talking that the new baby boom is going to be called the coronials.
Nice.
The coronials. I can say this in our house. It's important that my husband has some time with not the kids and not me. It's important
Yeah,
that I
alone,
get
his
time.
time. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
For me, I don't crave the alone time. I do crave time with him without the kids, and I crave time with the kids. But whatever you need for yourself right now in your household, even if you live in a tiny studio and you need to put up a curtain or a blockade of Tupperware bins, just declare what is your safe space and ask the other people that you live with for the time that you need. People will encroach on the boundaries you don't set. They will also encroach on the boundaries that you set and don't uphold. So the project is for each of us to state what we need. If you need a little space from your family members, let them know the time of day and the amount of time and where you'd like to be and where you'd like them to be, because we all, if we love each other, we'll do our best to honor those requests, right?
Right, yeah. That's a very important, important part, and I know for myself, I do need some space. I do need some time. I do need that alone time. Um, so it, it's important that we all respect each other in this time.
And when all else fails, bring a nice cup of tea and a great book into the bathroom, lock the door, and hopefully whoever you live with knows how to respect the message that a locked bathroom door says.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. And then now with the weather getting nicer, I know I'm ready to bring the patio furniture out and just get outside a bit in the backyard, even just to read and be, have that alone time.
You
So,
and you make such a great point, Michelle. That just reminded me one other thing. So yesterday we set up the back deck out of our kitchen, and that way, I'm up before everybody else is in the morning. It makes your heart feel a little different to have that morning tea or coffee and do gratitude work outside, hearing the
yes.
birds sing, watching the sunrise or seeing the early sun in the morning. It just creates a happier vibe. And so I'm not suggesting that you have to go out and do any shopping. I trust that everybody here probably has some furniture that could be repurposed, plants that could be shifted around. Create your Zen space, whether that's a little place in your home where you do your stretches, your meditation, your yoga, your journaling. I like to create that my workspace is a Zen space. And if you have so much as a tiny itty bitty little outdoor patio, anything that you can get out to, create that as a place that feels beautiful and serene for you to get to. And yes, thank goodness spring is here. Let's spend as much time enjoying it as we're allowed to.
Right. Yes, definitely. That's a great point. Thank you. All right. Well, that was great. Great information for everybody. Thank you so much, Haley, for giving me the time today. And
Thank you.
as I was saying before, we were like, it's really nice to see everybody serving each other, coming together as a community. There's so many people helping each other, whether it be people offering to get groceries for the elderly, neighbors checking in on neighbors. People are reconnecting with people that they haven't spoken to in a long time. And it's
So
just,
true.
I think that everybody's coming together as a community, spreading kindness, and the whole world is coming together as a global community. And, we are going to get through this together.
It's very true. And if you are one of those people listening that lives alone and you feel really disconnected from everyone, I saw something the other day that inspired me, and we're going to start doing this. I've seen people doing parking lot tailgate get togethers. You sit in the trunk of your car, they park 10 feet away, sit in the trunk of their own car. Everybody brings their own bagged lunch, and you sort of feel like you're having a real social interaction while practicing total safety, total social distancing. I saw a picture of four ladies doing that in a parking lot, all parked at least 10 feet apart.
Mm,
And we went to visit my parents, so my kids' grandparents, the other day, and we put picnic chairs at the bottom of their driveway, and they sat about 15 feet apart in picnic chairs at the top of their driveway. And it was better than not being able to see each other at all. So yes, we got to get creative. Yes, it's different, but we can still make this be a really wonderful time. And I'm so grateful for you, Michele, and what you're doing with the group. And may the
Thank you.
positive pivot be the best pivot any of us have taken.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Hailey. And thank you again for your time. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.